Hello everyone, welcome to Forrest's wonderful adventure. He just graduated and got drafted. Talk about no rest for the wicked. In the military camp, he faced childhood woes again. No one wanted to sit with him on the bus until Bubba showed up like two puzzle pieces. Bubba came from a coastal town. His family has been shrimping for generations, and his dream to have his very own shrimping boat. Talk about dedication. Forrest thought military life was a piece of cake. Just follow orders. When the sergeant told him to assemble a gun, he was all in, like sorting out a jigsaw puzzle. He broke the squad's record every time, and when it came to polishing leather, he treated it like a precious gem, shining brighter than the stars. However, Bubba never forgot about his distant hometown. Military nights were super quiet. Forrest missed his mom and Jenny, and then his roommate handed him a magazine to talk about unexpected distractions. And guess what? He spotted Jenny's picture in there. His mind was racing faster than a roller coaster. Realizing Jenny might be in trouble, he rushed to the theater mentioned in the magazine during the break. Finally, he saw Jenny on stage with her guitar, singing her heart out, and Forrest couldn't help but grin like a fool. Yet, reality was tough. The audience's reaction toward her performance was downright cringeworthy. Forrest was furious and charged up. He decided to teach those rude fucks a lesson in humanity. Jenny didn't want to bow down either. She wanted to change her fate, but opportunities felt like bubbles on the sea. Forrest could indeed offer temporary assistance, but it wasn't realistic for him to always step forward and solve her problems. To Jenny, Forrest was like a child, clueless about love. She didn't want to hold him back, quickly getting on the bus to leave. Forrest gazed at Jenny's departing figure, his heart overwhelmed with profound reluctance to part. And it was only at this very moment that Jenny truly comprehended he had come to bid her farewell. She patiently advised Forrest, "Don't play the hero on the battlefield, just run." And he took those words to heart. This simple advice led Forrest to a legendary journey on the battlefield, and soon he and Bubba were off to war. They had an encounter with Lieutenant Dan, a charming and humorous individual, the quintessential embodiment of the soldier's ideal. Coming from a family of warriors, he was proud, but Forrest soon realized reality was a far cry from imagination. No smoke and fire in sight, just 4 months of relentless rain. Even sleeping came with the sight of water. This teamwork was so solid, it was like they didn't even need sleep like a well-oiled machine. Bubba posed a crucial question to Forrest. "Do you want to shrimp with me?" Forrest eagerly said yes, and Bubba was thrilled to hear the shrimp boat plan all set. They dreamt of a boat home, split the shrimp profits, and feast on shrimp to their heart's content. Forrest thought Bubba was a genius, his mind filled with dreams, writing letters to Jenny without missing a beat. Even if Jenny never responded, Forrest eagerly awaited the end of the war to shrimp with Bubba and live out their dream. Finally, the brilliant sun pierced through the dense clouds, serving as a clear sign of boundless hope for them. However, that tranquil and beautiful moment was fleeting, as Forrest's unit was suddenly confronted with an enemy ambush. Watching his comrades fall, Lieutenant Dan ordered a retreat, but the word retreat was a total stranger to Forrest. It wasn't until Bubba yelled "Are you in?" that he clicked, turning into lightning, as fast as a speeding bullet. Forrest left his comrades in the dust, and when he looked back, there was no one behind him. Bubba was his best friend, and he had to make sure he was okay, so he turned back. Along the way, Forrest found injured comrades, and although they had teased him before, all he felt was sympathy. He carefully carried each of his comrades to safety, and during the process, he even took a tumble himself. He found Lieutenant Dan, whose legs had been cruelly taken by the war, and when he tried to carry him, he was refused. Dan even called for air support, but Forrest was unyielding, carrying him to safety against all odds. During the chaotic run, Forrest got bitten by something, but he didn't care, just wanted to get Dan to safety. "That's an order. I gotta find Bubba." To Forrest, Bubba was priority number 1. Finally, in a dense thicket, he found Bubba, comforting him softly, as if playing a game of hide-and-seek. Luckily, they managed to dodge the artillery fire's attack, but fate played an exceptionally cruel trick on Bubba. Bubba didn't make it, and in his final moments, he uttered words that Forrest would forever remember. "I really want to go home. Bubba was my closest and best buddy." Forrest finally grasped the brutality of war. He lost his best friend. Later, Forrest was sent to the field hospital, where he learned that the thing that bit him was a bullet to an injury worth $1 million, or so they said. But in the end, he saw none of it but cherished that gift because it meant endless ice cream for him. However, Lieutenant Dan consistently remained shrouded by a faint, lingering cloud of melancholy. It appeared as though war had profoundly grasped his soul, stealing away his legs from him. Seeds of resentment were sown in his heart, blaming Forrest for pulling him from death, robbing him of a glorious end. After hearing Forrest's reply, Lieutenant Dan felt an overwhelming sense of humiliation and anger. It was my fate to perish on the battlefield, yet you brought me back to life. Every person's fate carries a set weight, light as a feather or heavy as a mountain. As a born warrior, he was meant to bask in glory, not be left with a broken body. So, Forrest's appearance to Dan was truly nothing short of a harsh joke. So, folks, after watching this story, don't forget to like and subscribe.